Today we are at the beautiful southernmost house and we are talking with our Congressman Carlos Curbelo. He is running for re-election. And Carlos, it is such a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you very much, Jenna, and congratulations to you. They tell me you're winning all the 5Ks in town, so keep it up.
Thank you so much. Maybe you can run with me sometime when you come back.
I promise I'll do it.
All right, Carlos, you've had a little less than 2 years in Washington, so talk with us about why you want to run again.
So I've really focused my time in Washington, Jenna, on getting things done. Everyone knows that Washington's dysfunctional, that politicians are always bickering and hurling insults at each other. I've really tried to stay away from that and focus on the priorities of our community. And for the Florida Keys, that means water quality. Done a lot of work to help with Everglades restoration. We got the Central Everglades Planning Project passed out of the House, which is $2 billion worth of investment in Everglades restoration. What is this going to do? It's going to help increase fresh water flows from Lake Okeechobee through the Everglades and into Florida Bay. We all know that Florida Bay is struggling and that it's critical for that habitat, for that ecosystem, for fresh water to flow into the bay. CEP, the Central Everglades Planning Project, will increase that flow by 15%. So it's a big deal. This is an environmental issue for us, but it's also an economic issue because people from all over the world come to the Keys and visit Florida Bay. Another big issue, transportation infrastructure. Working together, Republicans and Democrats, we got $10 billion worth of transportation infrastructure funding from the federal government for the state of Florida. So these are the issues that I've been focusing on. Have concrete results, 7 bills passed as a freshman, something that's very rare in the House, very proud of that. And I look forward to continuing my work for this community.
Great. Carlos, if you were to get re-elected, what would you want to see done immediately?
Look, we need to get Congress to work again. I think for at least the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, the Congress has really come to a screeching halt. Republicans and Democrats are both guilty. I mean, people from both sides have contributed to this situation. We kind of see this playing out in our politics. There's a lot of nastiness, a lot of anger. So what I want to do is focus on solutions. How are we going to continue building a better education system in this country that puts students at the center, whether it's K through 12 or higher education? We need to reform higher ed in this country. We got a lot of young people who go to college, get into debt, get a degree, and then can't find a quality job. This system isn't working for people. So these are the issues that I'm focused on. Climate change, a big deal for this part of the world. We're the tip of the spear, right? So I started the Climate Solutions Caucus, the first bipartisan caucus on climate change in the Congress. We have 10 Republicans and 10 Democrats in it right now. We're working together to try to find solutions for mitigating climate change, recognizing that humans are contributing to climate change, and also to adapting, preparing for things like sea level rise, which hopefully we can reverse, but in the near term, what we need to do is make investments in infrastructure that will help us prepare for that reality.
Carlos, let's talk about consensus. Now, that's something that a lot of politicians don't talk about these days. Why do you think it's been a successful strategy for you?
Look, Jenna, the only way things get done in Washington is when Republicans and Democrats come together. Look, we all have our ideas. We all have our positions on the issues. We fight for those. We should have rigorous debates in our country. But at the end of the day, we should find a way to compromise. Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill taught us this in the 80s. Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton, who didn't really like each other very much, taught us that Republicans and Democrats can work together in the 90s. So now it's our turn to fight for our ideas, fight for tax reform, fight for education reform from our perspective, but then come to the table and figure things out. The American people ultimately want the Congress, our political system, to work for them, to produce positive outcomes. That doesn't mean that Republicans are going to get everything that they want. It doesn't mean that Democrats are going to get everything they want. But we do have to kind of meet in the middle. And that's the attitude, that's the disposition that I take to Congress every day. My predecessor was a little different. He's known for going to the House floor and yelling that people who disagreed with him are the Taliban. Well, that's just not my style. And I don't think that doesn't contribute to getting things done to delivering for communities like ours. So census building is critical. There aren't enough people in Washington doing it. I'm trying to do my part.
Great. Carlos, you are almost to the finish line. This is definitely a critical time right now for you. How can people get involved in your campaign if they want to help these next few days?
Well, look, Jenna, if people really want to trust and believe in their government again, hopefully be proud of their government, of the Congress, then I encourage them to support our campaign. It's very easy. You go to my website, carloscurbelo.com. You can find information about me. You can find information on how to get involved, where you can vote. We ask people to take advantage of early voting. You can still request your ballot in the mail as well, people who don't want to stand in line. This election is very important, and this community, all the way from Key West to Westchester up in Miami-Dade County, deserves a congressman who will go to work every day, who will put this community, this district first, no matter what the partisan or special interests that are aligned against us. And that's me. That's my record. That's who I've been. That's why I'm rated as one of the most bipartisan members in the Congress, and that's my commitment to this community. Focus on solutions, represent this community with integrity, with decency, in a way that really helps us shine in Washington, D.C. So I thank you for this opportunity, and I really encourage everyone to get involved, and I respectfully ask for the vote.